Hunting for whitetails is as good as it gets for most of the hunters out there, and that's definitely the case in this week's Throwback edition of DoD TV. With Dave Reisner taking the helm of this episode, perched in a tree, he has the perfect vantage point to nail an unsuspecting stud. I'm Taylor Land, and you're watching a Throwback Thursday right here on DoD TV.
This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
It's kind of been a rough season. I had that early season miss, and once you start missing, you start losing confidence, I guess, in yourself. Well, it's 3:50 in the morning, November 11th, and we're heading out yet again. It's been I guess last couple of years I've gotten lucky and gotten my deer in October, and this year I've had a couple opportunities already and haven't made the most of them, and it gets old getting up this early. It's tiring. Well, we got settled in plenty early. It was nice and dark. We had deer underneath us, and I just stayed sitting there early in the morning because there's nothing I could do anyway. It was dark. It was very cold. I was just kind of trying to concentrate on staying warm.
Well, it's November 11th, and we're on top of a ridge where a lot of bucks like to cruise looking for does. We've had good luck here last year. Kurt had a lot of luck here about the same time, and we think we're hung in the right spot to see good deer movement. We've already seen at least 2 bucks this morning, right at first light, and even one at pretty much dark. Already come cruising through here, so we're hoping to catch one of the big boys coming doing his thing, and we'll see what happens.
That corner of the bean fields where I had my digital, trail camera up all summer, and it's got several bucks on it, and it's got, one buck that I particularly know well. It's we called it the 20-inch wide buck last year. Kurt had an encounter with it. It just didn't have many times. It looked like it had busted them all off. But we've got several photos of him this year, and wouldn't you know it, that's the deer that was coming up from the bean field following a doe.
Buck coming, following a doe. He's out there a little far yet. He's gonna scare me. That's a buck. We call him the 20-inch wide buck. Courage had several encounters with him last year, and he's torn up on one side. We thought he was broken up, but upon further review, he's got a screwed up rack on his right side. He's coming right in. He's following that doe right in.
And I'm telling you what, they about wore me out because they were so nonchalant in their movements. It wasn't the regular chase mode. It wasn't the where they're cutting them off. It was just a follow my leader in a sense, and the doe was leading that buck right in on us.
He's down right there. Whew. It's only like 7:30 in the morning. The sun's just come up the horizon. It's a beautiful north wind. We've been waiting basically all year for a north wind for this set. And it's pretty much our first time in here. And this buck we have some history with, and that's what makes this buck a little special. He's busted up on one side, and we called him the 20-inch wide buck last year when Kurt had several encounters with him. And we got him on trail monitoring last year, cameras, and we got him this year, and he's down right there. Yeah. I've missed a couple deer this year that are definitely whoppers, but to end up having a third opportunity, wow, I didn't think it was gonna happen, but it did this morning. Yeah.
Well, you know, we ended up measuring that buck's width, and he didn't quite make 20, but he was awfully close. I know he was over 19 inches, so we were close when we called him a 20-inch wide buck last year. But what a way to finish my year. You know, when you have early season failures, it's nice to be able to have that opportunity to redeem yourself. Well, here he is. He's a big old cow, that's for sure. He's a deer that we know quite well. Just an awesome feeling harvesting a deer that you've seen last year, that you actually passed. Kurt Ritchie had this encounter last year with this deer, and we thought, you know, he was all busted up, and we thought he was, you know, gotten a bad fight and busted up. But what we realized this year when we got new pictures of him is that this side was never going to be much, you know, and he's definitely a mature deer. He's 3.5 years old. We gave him, I guess, an opportunity to grow out of it or to see what was wrong. So when he came by the stand this morning, that doe dragging him right by, I knew I was going to harvest him. And, you know, and as soon as you know in your heart that you're going to do it, your heart starts pumping, and it just, the excitement's on. And, you know, this buck just took his sweet time, and sometimes that starts getting at you because you're like, just get over here, you know, let's get her done before I get too worked up. And he finally worked it, you know, ever so slowly right into us. And, you know, just what an awesome feeling to harvest one. I've had some bad luck this year, and shooting a little left, hitting a tree, and you know, it's just, that's what happens certain years. And, you know, certainly this isn't my biggest buck, even that I've had an opportunity this year to harvest, but he's the one I harvested, and I'm pretty happy about it right now.
Here's to never missing a day of hunting camp. Because with DeerCast, you can take camp with you all season long. Get ahead of your game.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Bossy Oak.